So without further ado, I'd like to welcome back our MC for the night, Mr. Peter Debney.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, the MoreFM Wairarapa Bush Rugby Awards is all about club rugby, and it's all about your participation and the way you have made the game this year so enjoyable, both on the paddock and off the paddock. And I'd speak also as a referee that it's been great to have the team out there supporting you each Saturday. Now, the way it's going to work is that we'll go through the award, and I'd ask the presenter of the award to come and join me on the stage. We'll pass the trophy over, and then we'll go through the citations and then make the announcement and presentation. So our first trophy, looking at your program, you'll see is the Farry McLeod Trophy for the Volunteer of the Year. So Farry, would you like to come and join me? First one. Come out here, Farry. First nominee I've got is Sharon Parker from Gladstone. Sharon is treasurer of the club, providing her outstanding skill to this pivotal role with the club. Her attention to detail ensures nothing is overlooked and ongoing viability of the club is constantly clear. Sharon does not only undertake the treasurer's role, she is the face of the gatekeeper at Gladstone home games, and she gets in behind the bar at all home games. Sharon's knowledge and experience is well respected by all members of the Gladstone Rugby Club Committee, and her passion for the game and the club make her a vital part of the success of the club, and the contribution she puts in is substantial. Second nominee, Alan Christensen from Marston Red Star. After his wife, Marie, and family, Alan lives for the Marston Red Star Club. Every day without fail, he is voluntarily working for the club in some capacity. Across the two premises, Alan can be seen completing tasks that many do not see happening: the cleaning, the setting up, the taking down, the repairing, the painting. The list is endless. Alan is a club captain, someone that everyone turns to in need, and he not only organises many of the working bees, but normally will take on the unpleasant jobs needing to be done. Alan has never missed a club committee meeting and always makes himself available to go to the other meetings in support of the Marston Red Star Club. Alan is always in his club number ones, making speeches for the club, and always looks out for the more elderly and life members of the club. A volunteer who asks for no thank yous, who gets on doing the work for the club he loves, he is giving of his time and energy to the game and to the club. The third nominee, Andy Holmes from Greytown. Andy is the chairman of the Greytown Club, and over the past 2 years has devoted a large amount of his own time to support the fundraising efforts for the renovation of the Greytown club rooms. Andy has been instrumental in the development of closer ties between the Greytown Rugby Club and other sporting codes in the community, who are now making use of the club facilities. At every home game, Andy can be seen operating the scoreboard or acting as a touch judge. He makes a very significant contribution to rugby in Greytown. Now, I'll now ask Farry if he'd present the Farry McLeod Trophy to this year's winner, Volunteer of the Year, Alan Christensen. Just for the camera, guys. Just shake again. Just for the... You right? You good? Now, if you could just both go outside, I just want you out there to take another. Alan, if you could both go just through the door here. What we're doing is taking a shot here, then they want a nice press one, in in the bowels of the building. So all the rest of you presenters will know and winners will know exactly what's expected. Now to date, the David Galvin Trophy for Senior Administrator of the Year. I'd ask David if you could come and join me. Thank you. First nominee I have is Steve Hurley from Carterton. Steve is a passionate Carterton rugby man through and through. He has been part of the Carterton Rugby Club for well over 30 years. He has participated and or served the club at every level. Steve has been president of the executive committee of the club for the last 3 years. His leadership, business acumen, wisdom and quick-wittedness has steered the club back into more stable times. Steve maintains a professional manner whilst dealing with matters within the club, keeping rugby at the forefront and ensuring players' passion for the game and the club is preserved. The club recently held a grassroots rugby event for the visiting Lions supporters, which was an initiative of Steve's. This generated a lot of interest from the supporters as well as funds for the club. Steve gets in and does jobs that need doing at the club, travelling and attending meetings on behalf of the club. Steve is at the forefront of the development of a steering group looking at establishing the Carterton Sports Hub, seeing the long-term benefits of not only the club but the wider sporting community. With Steve at the helm, rugby is in good hands in Carterton with a bright future. Our second nominee, Rachel Cotton from Martinborough. Rachel is president of the club, a driven individual who has over a number of years strived to make the Martinborough Rugby Club a top community and sporting organisation that every member of the Martinborough region can be extremely proud of and other communities envious of. Rachel has led every event from the top and taken personal responsibility to see that everything is done to the best possible potential. In 2017, Rachel has spent countless hours searching, applying for and chasing up grants to ensure the club functions the best it can. Whilst ensuring the teams are well kitted out, Rachel does not forget the supporters. She rallied together a variety of logo emblazed clothing for the supporters, which is seen worn with pride during the season along the sidelines. During the summer months, Rachel organises a summer touch rugby competition involving 16 teams. Rachel is seen at every fundraising event, happy to lend a hand at anything and represents the Martinborough Club at every opportunity. Under Rachel's leadership, the club has gone from strength to strength, leading renovations, uniting the senior and junior clubs, drumming up community and committee support. This and other things has seen home crowds multiply and has aided the team's success. The Martinborough Rugby Club is blessed to have Rachel as their president. Her passion for the club is contagious, and the tears when the Senior A side qualified for its first grand final in 24 years was apparently due to the wind. Our third nominee, Sean McBride from the Gladstone Club. Sean has been president since 2012. Having served on the committee prior, he is well respected and an excellent leader. Steve is a Council of Clubs delegate and representative on the Gladstone Complex Committee. Sean leads by example, has high standards, great values and morals, and deals with conflicts as they arise. He manages the finances well and has great all-round skills, which is valued by all members and teams at the club. Sean also plays a major role in securing sponsorship that is crucial for the club as it is for all clubs. Now I ask David to present the David Galvin Trophy for the winner of the Senior Administrator of the Year, Rachel Cotton. Rachel, do you want to...
Yeah, sorry, I don't really know what to say, but thanks to all the Martinborough guys. I'm learning the art of delegation and sharing the workload, because I've got such an awesome team, you know, right through from our committee down to, well, the players, the JB, everyone, and it's making, yeah, I love what I do, so thanks to you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony, for the prompt. I'll get the next one right. Now we have the Ron Hughes Trophy, the Junior Administrator of the Year. Could I ask Richard Dalberg to join me? First nominee I have is Neil Rogers from Carterton. Neil has been a driving force for the club's JAB for the last 2 to 3 years. Now, during this time, the number of players have progressively increased to 120. Neil has arranged separate coaching programs and sessions to assist coaches with the quality of their training. Neil has also set up an opportunity for selected and motivated players to receive specialised non-rugby coaching based around being better athletes. Neil arranged JAB team uniforms, which has brought a sense of pride to the club, both in the behaviour and presentation of all the JAB teams. The JAB prize giving last year is a testament to Neil and his team of helpers of the dedication and conscientious work Neil puts into the club and his players. Second nominee I have is Richard Fairbrother from East Coast. In 2015, Richard took over the role of Club JAB Delegate. Richard has undertaken the registration process for all players, implementing the new online process and overseeing this with players and parents. Being a rural club, travel can be an issue for many players. Richard has arranged dispensations for several eligible players who otherwise would not be playing rugby. East Coast JAB has grown, and in 2017 has an under-6 ripper and an under-8 and under-10 tackle teams. Richard organises the JAB programs, arranges coaches, managers, and also manages the under-8 side himself. Richard has ensured that all coaches have done the required coaching courses and also procures mouth guards and practice equipment for the teams. With the expansion of the JAB, Richard undertook to modernise the JAB playing strip, aligning it with the senior teams and obtaining finance with the assistance from the club treasurer. Good thinking. Richard, with the support of his wife, arranged a thank you dinner for all coaches and managers of the East Coast JAB teams. He attends a monthly JAB delegates meeting, contributing strongly and then reporting back to committee meetings. Richard is a great younger member of the East Coast Club with boundless energy and enthusiasm, an ideal role model for the JAB players, making them pull the jersey on with pride. Our third nominee, Nicole James Boyce from Pioneer. Nicole took on the role of club delegate this year and has become an absolute asset to the Pioneer Sports Club. Nicole has attended all the required meetings, often some of those go very late, and then kept all the parents up to date, always positive and with a smile. Nicole organised over 11,000 worth of sponsorship for new uniforms for the players. That's a lot of letters, time and dedication. And the end result was a new sharp-looking kit, and you've all seen some of it. Nicole also created a new Facebook page, keeping it fully up to date, great photos, latest draws, posting any changes that the club members needed to know. Nicole was at every Thursday training, helping out, providing information and providing a supportive role to both parents and children. She is truly a dedicated member of their club. I would now ask Richard if he would present the Ron Hughes Trophy to the winner of the Junior Administrator of the Year, Richard Fairbrother.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Just quickly, I was asked by the previous delegate, Ross Wakeling, to take on the role at East Coast as JAB delegate, as he joked that I was the closest person to Masterton to take on the job. But we've gone from strength to strength in recent years. I've just got a couple of people I want to thank for the success of junior rugby at East Coast. To the President, Sue Gibson, and the East Coast Committee, thank you for being extremely supportive of junior rugby at East Coast. To our long-standing loyal supporters and sponsors, thank you for your financial contribution to the club. Your continued support is appreciated. My family, thank you for your patience, as I do spend quite a lot of time at rugby meetings and various events. To all the dedicated rugby coaches and managers from all clubs who take JAB teams week in, week out, thank you for your efforts to get our kids playing rugby every Friday and Saturday. And finally, to our parents and supporters from our club who travel huge distances to get our players to practices and games, for your massive commitment to our kids to ensure that they have the opportunities to play at the game. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
We now move to the Rutini Family Trophy for the College Player of the Year. Could I ask Mark to come and join me? Here's Mark. Now, we've got a nomination from Makura College, Marty Manessa. Unfortunately, Marty can't be with us due to a family bereavement. But we go back and look at the citation. Marty has been a consistent player throughout this season's first 15 competition. His skills have grown greatly and he contributes to his team both on attack and defence. Marty is a young player, however, a hard-working player in the Makura team, and has been rewarded by being selected in the under-16 Wairarapa Bush side this season. Marty is contributing to the Wairarapa Bush Junior Ripper program by doing some coaching and refereeing. A college player that has a lot to contribute both now and in the future. A second nominee, Rory McKee from Rathkiel. Throughout the year, Rory has shown outstanding leadership and commitment. His play is always at the highest level. He was selected in the Central Region New Zealand Māori under-18 team and is in contention for higher honours. His age will still see Rory eligible to play for the under-18 teams in the 2018 season. Our third nominee, Sam Smith from Wairarapa College. Sam has played in the Wairarapa College First 15 for the past 2 seasons. Sam was only a Year 11 student when first making the side. Sam was successful in making the Hurricanes under-16s team last year, and this year has seen Sam make the Central Region under-18 Maori side and is trialling for the New Zealand under-18 Maori side, which is yet to be announced. Sam is also in the under-18 Wairarapa Bush representatives team. So Mark, I would ask if you would present the winner of the College Player of the Year to Sam Smith. Well done, Sam. I feel like having a
Hello. I just like to thank you Mark, for the trophy first of all. Coaches and managers of Wairarapa College First 15 this year, couldn't do it without you. Mike, thanks to you, top man. And my parents for supporting me. Thank you.
We now have the Patrick Rimini Trophy for the top point scorer in the Premier grade. Can I ask a member of the Rimini family to come and join me, make the presentation? Thank you. And of course, the top point scorer in the Premier years is Brad Griffith. Well done.
First off, I'd like to thank Bundy and Stevie and all the people from Gladdy. It's been an awesome year. Yeah, it's been good. Thanks to my parents for supporting me, and cheers.
Now we move to the Manuera Ben Rugby Couch Trophy for the top try scorer in the Premier grade. Ben, I saw you here before. If you come and join me. And as you probably all know, the top point scorer in the Premier years was Soli Malatai. No, he's not here, is he? Now, I understand that, James, you're going to come and accept it on Soli's behalf. James Goodyear? Do I see James somewhere? Thanks, James, if you'll do that for us. Nothing like springing surprises, eh? It's really, really good. Want a word or not, James?
I'm just really happy to be here, and I'll speak on behalf of Solly. He's only a little guy, and he's bloody strong, and doesn't speak too much English, but we love having him, and plays for the mighty Marist Club, so we're happy to have him. So cheers.
Almost getting to half time, so just the old story, 5 more minutes and put your head down. So we've got the Mrs. A. McPhee Trophy. It's a Premier Women's Player of the Year. Could I ask Rex Plale if you would come forward, Rex? And present that. Thanks, mate. Our first nominee is B. Eramis from Chanel College. Now, B plays number 8 for the Wairarapa Barbarians, and she is never shy from the physical challenge, and this shows throughout her game. She is a very destructive ball carrier and tackler. B has been a member of the girls' team for the last number of years and is a great asset to the team, who shows outstanding leadership, and B shows outstanding leadership both on and off the field. Our second nominee from Makura College, Lillianne Tate-Rowe. Lillianne is a utility forward who plays for the Wairarapa Barbarians. She has been playing for the team for 2 seasons and has consistently grown and shown improvement in her rugby skills. Lillianne has shown great dedication as a team member and has grown into a good ball-running rugby player who has no fear of contact. She is always willing to learn new skills and likes to improve on her game. Our third nominee is from Wairarapa College, Kelsey Rose Watt. Kelsey plays halfback for the Wairarapa Barbarians and has shown outstanding commitment over the last couple of years. This year Kelsey attended 100% at training and she has never missed a game all year. She has a good pass and whilst not the biggest on the field, she is one of the biggest hearts. She shows a lot of passion for the game and is a great team person. I'll now ask Rex if he would award the Mrs. A. McPhee Trophy to the winner of the Premier Women's Player of the Year, Lillian. Congratulations, well done.
Hi, I'd just like to thank my coaches and all my team and my mum.
And here's coming up half time, so we'll just sub a couple of players on. We've got the Pat Shanahan Trophy, the Premier Player of the Year. Could I ask Tony Hargood if you would come forward, Tony? First nominee I have is John Stevenson from Gladstone. John is a long-standing captain and number 8 for the Gladstone Premier Rugby team. In the 2017 season, John took on a new challenge in the front row due to a shortage of front row players. He quickly developed the skills required, which saw him strongly support his team. What set John apart this season is that his skill in the other areas of the game did not diminish at all through the season. An effective ball runner, strong on the tackle, and his mobility as a front rower made him a real standout in a number of games. John is an 80-minute performer week in, week out. His presence has a marked impact in most games during the season, in which Gladstone was one of the informed teams throughout the season. Our second nominee is Chris Raymond from Martinborough. In 2017, Chris turned out top level performance each Saturday for his home side Martinborough. He is one of the most direct runners of the ball and has taken his game to another level by developing his linking game and his metres run. Chris is at the forefront of the team's winning formula and he has continued this form into the final of the Tui Cup. Chris was applauded for the role he played in the finals, and those who were there would have seen it. Chris has capped off an excellent season by being recalled into the 2017 Farriers Wairarapa Bush Heartlands team. Third nominee from Pioneer, Nikora Iwi. Nikora in 2017 showed his true potential as a player and grown into one of the most devastating backs in the Wairarapa. He would spend additional time after normal training to work on his game, whether it was fitness or skills. He has been rewarded by being included in the 2017 Farriers Wairarapa Bush Heartlands team. I'll now ask Tony if he would present the trophy to the winner of the Premier Player of the Year, Chris Raymond. Now I understand that Scott, you would come forward. Oh no! Well, no, not at all.
This is a nice Scott.
Oh, nice Scott. Much better Scott than those, oh yeah.
Hello, Nipple couldn't be here today, but I'm sure he would thank the coaches, like the physio, the supporters, everyone. He didn't actually think he'd win this, so he'd be wrapped.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Nikora and John for also being nominees for this award. It's humbling to win such a great award, especially with other great nominees. First of all, I'd like to thank the coaches and supporters of Māori Rugby Club. They've helped me come a long way this year, and also the other players. Thank you.
I'm just going up to Scott.
Well, technologies, we may be doing it all next year from there. We'll just sit at home in front of the fire and we'll do it all by Skype or something else. Look, thank you. That concludes our first half. The coaches are now allowed onto the field to tune up the team. For the rest of you, the buffet dinner is now being served, and it'll be the Copthorne team who will come round and just nod the tables to go forward for the dinner. When we come back, we'll have our auction, and Dimey will be up and take it away. Enjoy the...
Thanks, Peter. I just wanted to say, when Rex Plale said we'll get Dimey to be the auctioneer tonight, I was over the moon. I've waited 40 years for what I'm about to say. 40 years. I'm going to let it go. Dimey and I, we went to college together at St. Joseph's, and then formerly St. Joseph's, and then became Chanel College, as you know. He was a year ahead of me at school, but we both played rugby together in the highly successful, talented Chanel College 5C team. Dimey was halfback. He had the swift pass of Aaron Smith. He had the strength of Justin Marshall, the leadership and the quips of Sean Fitzpatrick. Dimey, you were my hero. I still beggars belief today why you weren't selected in the 1987 World Cup squad by BJ Lahore stuffs me. Everyone, Brian Dummon.
I was going to bring that up, Tony, about BJ. I still haven't got over it yet, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that don't know me, I am Dimey. I'm world famous. I was on Country Calendar for 5 seconds on Sunday night, if you didn't see that. They do live stream it, apparently, and the only feedback I got from that was my daughter said, "Dad, for Christ's sakes, why didn't you suck your guts in?" But anyway, I'm going to look pretty slim at this stage because I'm going to get some spotters up with beside me, ladies and gentlemen. One of them is Mr. Rex Plale. Come on, Rex. And the other one is a little bit slimmer, Mr. Andy Griffiths. Rex said that Andy Griffiths is a lot balder, and I have to agree with him. But he's bred 3 fine boys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must have to congratulate the Wairarapa Bush Union and all the people that have been associated, been nominated for tonight. It's a fantastic night. It's got a great atmosphere to it. It's like a family atmosphere. But my job tonight is to get all the money. All right, so don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. So we're about to start the auction, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start off with the 2016 Māori rugby jersey, signed by Mr. Piri Wepu. A new signing for the Wairarapa Bush, ladies and gentlemen. Rightio, we're going to start the jersey off. I'm going to start it off at $50. I bid $50. $50 bid, I bid 50, the money bid $70 bid, $70 bid, I bid $100, the money bid 100. Well spotted, Andy. I bid 120, he's on fire. $120 bid, I bid 20, the money bid $120 bid, I bid 20, the money bid $150 bid. $150 bid, $150 bid. $150 bid, 50, the money $180 out the back, Stacey, $180. Now wave in and we can't see her. I bid $200. $200 bid, $220 bid. $220 bid, I bid 20, the money bid $220 bid. Come on, Rexy, $250. $50 bid, $250 bid. It's again your Shawnee. $250, $280 new blood. Welcome aboard. $280. 80 the money bid, $280 bid. Out it goes at $280. I sell it at $280. Now the bid is at $300. $300 bid. Stick to your gun, sir. I'll take 20. $300 bid. Out it go to bid 3, the money bid $300. I sell it at $300. Bidding all done. You girls, keep your hands down. These are men's jerseys. There's not too much room up the front. $320, and they are lovely too. $320. $320 $320 bet. How to go to bid 320, the money bid 320. I sell it at 320 on Andy's call. Hold on, I'll take 10. Come on, a good cause. $320 bet. Out it goes at 320. I sell away. Bidding all done. 320 is going to buy it. $320. Well done. Who was that, Andy?
All of them.
Are they just going to take turns about with it, or? Shawnee. Well done, Sean. $320. Is anyone writing this down? Well done, Stace. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on next to the... what are we going to go on to here? The 2 tickets to an All Black Test match. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, the night's accommodation for 2 in Wellington, and the Test match will be at the Cake Tin, and it is of your choice, okay? So if you're about 85, don't wait till the next Lion tour. The accommodation could be the Copthorne or the Backpackers or Mermaids. It's definitely Copthorne, ladies and gentlemen. We thank them for their generous sponsorship. Righty-ho. And it's the honeymoon suite. Is that any good to you? We supply towels, bathrobes, but no negligees. Okay. Well, that's got to be worth 1,000. I'll start off at 200. That's me. Sold. Right. Over 2, the money bid $200, but over 2, the money bid $200, but over 2, the money bid $200, but 2. Looks like it's me and you, Andy. $200 bid 2, the money bid $200, bid $250 bid 250. 50, the money bid $250 with Charlesy. $50 bid $250 bid 50. Not even half price, ladies and gentlemen. To $300. 300 at 350. Now you're waking up to the job. 350 is Andy Good. $400. $400 bid 4. 420 to Rex. I'm going to drop the 20s. 420 the call. How to go to bid 420. $450. $450 bid. How to go to bid 450. Hey, sell it at $480. $480. $500. $500 bid 5. $500 bid 5. The money bid $500 bid 5. $500 bid 5. The money bid 500. How to go to bid 500. Take 20. Hey, sell it at 500. Bidding all done at 500. 520. 50. 50s with Rex. 586 with you. Back with Rex again. 620. 650. Get him again, Andy. $650. Come on, value for money. $650. $650 bid. How to go to bid 650. Now the bid's on Rex's call at $650. It's on the market, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take 20. $650. $650. Now come on, $680. 600. That's me and you. $700. $700 bid 7. 700 the money bid. $700 bid 7. The money bid 700. $700 bid. Look out. Hey, 720. 750. Come on, still cheap as chips. $750. How to get? We'll chuck the bath towels in. We'll chuck the bathrobe in. 750's over here. We'll chuck Andy in. $750. That's not going to help. $750. Well, it's not because Lee's not bidding. $750. How to go to bid 750? The bid's Rex's call. I'm going to sell it, ladies and gentlemen. $750. Look out. Last call at 7. 780. 800. He's getting groggy. Come on, you two. $800. Honeymoon suite. $800. In for 20, you've got to be quick. $820. $820, the money bid 820. $850. $850. Sticking like the mother. $900. I bid $950. Would you like to make it 1,000? It's easier for GST. But GST's included. $1,000. I bid $1,020. $1,020 bid $1,020. It's on the market. It's got to go. Go quickly, you two. Are you together, I hope? In or out or out? Come on. $1,020 the bid's here. I sell it at $1,050. $1,100. $1,100 bid. Out it goes at $1,100. Thanks for your help. I sell it. Out it goes. 20. He's bloody keen. $1,150. $1,150. Come on, don't break a heart. You're nearly crying. $1,150. Come on, big fella. Come on, big fella. $1,150. We've got to be quick. How to go to 11? $1,180. $1,180. Is that a bit? Yeah. $1,200. Are you happy with this, Bob? Hey, the $1,200 bid. How it goes? Don't look at him. You won't be able to buy it that way. And you can't fit 4 in the room. $1,200. $1,200 bid. $1,220. Come on, come on. It's not a $2. $1,250. not a 2-day job. Got to be fair. Out it goes at $12.50. Thanks for your help. $1,250. Who was that? Oh, Stevie, you little bugger. $1,250. You taking Karen? Oh, Karen, are you taking Steve? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on next time to this beautiful bottle of whiskey. Glencadam. Single malt, 10 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to hang on to that? You got a licence? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there we signed by our locally born and bred Sir Brian Lahore. Right, going to start at $100. $100 the money bet, $100, money bet, $150 bet, $150 bet, $150. I bet $150 bet, $150 bet, $150 bet, $150. $150 bet, I bet 50, no, take 20s. $150 bet, 50 the money bet, $170 bet, 170. 100, got him, Andy. $170 bet, $170 bet, I bet 70 the money bet, 170. Out to go to bet, $170 bet, 170 the money bet, 170. Who's got 20? Who's got 20 to buy it? $170, $170, $180, $200, $200 to the left, $200 bet. How to go to bet, $200 bet, take 20. How to go to bet, $200 bet, 220. You bidding? Where are you, Peyton? Is that Peyton?
No, it's wife.
Oh, it's your wife. 250. Whiskey makes you frisky. $250 bet. How to go to bet, $250 bet. I sell it at $250 to Andy's wife. $250 bet. I said there's a party at their house. $250. Out it goes at $250. Take 20. I sell it $280. $280. Come on, Lily. $280. I'll help. $300. $300 bet. Hey, the money bet, $300 bet. I bet 3. The money bet, $300. Out it goes at $300. $320. $320. Single malt. Get BJ to sign it twice. You have. Did you want my glasses? $320. We'll get Lady Pam to sign it. $320. Now, I've got the bid straight out to me. I'm going to sell it, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on at $320. Nobody else. $320 buys it. Well, you missed out on the night out at the Copthorne, but there's $320 bit of whiskey over there. Someone get his name, $320.
Mick Campbell.
Mick Campbell. What? Righty-ho, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the 2017 The Farriers Wairarapa Bush rugby jersey signed by Piri Wepu. Righty-ho. That looks about my size. So, Andy, we might have a bit of a chance here. I'm away at $100, the money bet $100, the money bet $100, I bet the money bet $100. And we don't want to see it on Trade Me tomorrow. $100, the money bet $100, bet the money bet $100, I bet 100 money. Yes. $120 bet, thank Christ for that. $120 bet 20, the money bet $120 bet $50. $150 bet 50, the money bet $150. $150, the bid is out to the right. $150. $50 bet $150, but I bet 50, the money bet $150. Out it goes at $150. I sell it at $150. Come on, $180. $180. Andy, open your eyes. $180 bet 200. 200's with Rex. $200 bet. Come on, big fella, $200 bet. How to get about $220? $220. $250. $250 bet. It'll fit you. Keep the dream going, bro. $250. I'd look terrible in it. Don't worry about that. $250. Take 10. $250. Thanks for your help anyway. 50 the bids with Rex. $250 bid. How to get it? Final call. I sell it at $250. Bidding $250 is going to buy it. Rex Playall, your call. Steve Penn, $250. I'd like to see him when he puts that on. Do you want to pay to watch? Thanks, Dave. They tell me they do stretch. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the last of the night there with your dinner for 4 at Farriers. Eat as much as you like with Piri Wepu once again. Right, and we're at $100 money bet, $100 money bet. That's for 4. $150 bet, $150 bet. $150 bet. Come on, you Martin, you're a bit slow there on that table there. $150 bet, $150 bet, I bet 150, Andy's call. $150 bet, I bet 50 the money bet, $150 bet. There to go, $200 bet, 200, 250, 250, Andy, you're on fire. 280, 80 the money bet, $280 bet. 80 the money bet, $280 bet, 80 the money bet, $280. How to go to bet, 280 the money bet, 280. I sell it at 280. Who's got 300? $300. Back with me old Copthorne, mate. $300. $300 bid. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to move the night along. $320. $320. $300. Andy, take over. I need to go to the toilet. $320. $320 bid. Over 20. The money bid. $320. Stick with me, me old China. $300 for 4 people. $350. $380. Was that it? Well, it was halfway up. Ooh, the four of you are going together. Well, that could be a bit awkward. $350. $350 bids with Sean. How to go to bid 350 final call. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 350. I sell it. Bidding all down at $350. Well done, Sean. $350. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I sign off, there was the auction that was going to be the Wairarapa Bush car. All right? We couldn't fit it in the building tonight, so it will be on Facebook. So if you want to purchase the Wairarapa Bush car with a lot of history, and we'll chuck Rory in, just go and see Stacey here. Thanks, and we'll all you have a good evening.
Well, I don't know how we follow that, Dimey, but we'll do what we can. We'll get back to the awards now in the second half, and we've got the Eric Kenny Trophy for the Rugby Personality of the Year. I wonder, Eric, if you'd like to come up and join me. So we've got our Rugby Personality of the Year and the nominee. We've got our photographer tonight, Jade Vethroth, our photographer. And those who know Jade will know she excels in the positive promotion of the rugby community and the game of rugby. In the modern age, there are a variety of ways, including social media. Jade takes a high number of quality photos at rugby fields around the district and then posts them on her Facebook page for all players and supporters to enjoy. Jade does a fantastic job of capturing images, both players and supporters, and this goes a long way in promoting the game and demonstrating the joy and passion that is present in our sport. Our second nominee, Les Eden from East Coast. Les's enthusiasm is inspiring within the West Coast rugby community. He works tirelessly for the club, the Wairarapa rugby community, and is often likened to the Energizer Bunny. And those who know Eric, Les will know exactly what we mean. Les is the master of all. He sweeps the halls, runs the water for the senior A's and B's, subs as a player for the B's when needed, does the speech as club captain, and spearheads any fundraising when needed. During the last representative season, Les worked in the Wairarapa Bush B squad as a hydration officer. His good humour, big heart and enthusiasm is a shining example of a personality of the year. Our third nominee, Todd Brooks. From the Supporters Club. Todd is a stolid of the Wairarapa Bush Supporters Club. He is not only seen enjoying a quiet refreshment during and after the games at home, he is a driving force to ensure the gravel pit is maintained to a high standard. And you'll all recognise the effort's been put in over the summer to bring it up this year. He is often seen after hours and on weekends ensuring the Supporters Club is looking 100% along with ensuring the supporters are all organised for the away trips. Todd's friendly smile and cheerful banter make him a perfect finalist for the Personality of the Year. So Eric, the winner of the Personality of the Year, Les Eden.
Evening all. When I was told last week that that my name had been put forward, I thought, that in itself is somewhat of an honour to think my club is, thinks I'm worthy of, being nominated. So, to be honest, I was quite happy with that. And then didn't find out till earlier on in the week I'd actually been shortlisted. So I thought, result, at least I'm going to come third. So, the bronze is always good. But to actually win it, I certainly don't see myself worthy of such an honour, but it's certainly one that's much appreciated. As a volunteer, we do this either for the love of the club, for passion, or just sheer enjoyment. And as volunteers, we don't do this for personal accolades or awards, just simply for the love of the club we belong to. And anyone would tell you that out at Coast, we've got a club full of personality. So thank you all very much. Huge honour and appreciate it. Have a good night. Cheers.
We thought we'd act this stage before Beck disappears, and we'll bring her on and share a few words. But I'm going to spring one on Wendy. Wendy, come up here. I want you to do the introduction for Bex. I knew I'd get you something.
Wow, thank you. That was a surprise. I guess it gives me huge pleasure to introduce and welcome our guest speaker, Rebecca Marnie, tonight. I've known Rebecca for a number of years now, probably from about this high, Rebec's, and known her family for as many more. She has not only had an outstanding playing career, she is now highly recognised and a rated referee. Rebecca made her Black Ferns debut in 2004 and played until 2011, and her career included 2 Women's Rugby World winning campaigns in 2006 and 2010. She played 16 tests, scored 25 points, and after retiring from the international game, she continued to play the WPC as a key member of the Manawatu team in 2013 and 14. Rebecca played 13 seasons in total for the interprovincial competition. Rebecca started refereeing club rugby in the Wairarapa in 2014 and joined the refereeing ranks full-time in the 2015 season, which saw Rebecca appointed to control the 2015 National Provincial Championship Women's Final between Auckland and Wellington. Since 2015, the list of achievements has continued to grow for Rebecca, including being the first female referee to control a domestic first-class men's fixture in New Zealand by officiating at the Under-19 National Tournament, and at the end of last year, she refereed a 15-a-side women's international for the first time that saw her, in charge of Japan versus Hong Kong, a match played in Hong Kong. And to add a further first, Rebecca, in her Wairarapa Bush refereeing strip, became the first woman to officiate a Manawatu Senior A match. Please welcome to the stage Rebecca Marnie, one of the top New Zealand ranked female referees today.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Wendy. I'm not really sure what to talk about now. I was just going to, off the cuff, talk about my sports career, and I think you've pretty much summed it up. But for me, what is rugby? Rugby is about opportunities. It's an opportunity to catch up with your mates. It's an opportunity to beat the shit out of someone and have a beer afterwards. I have seen that in some good senior reserve rugby in the Wairarapa, sorry. It's an opportunity to vent, to get a break away from work, to vent frustrations from work, to you know, to achieve things, to set goals, to set dreams. It's a pathway for so many different things in New Zealand, and I think we're extremely grateful that there's so many opportunities in whichever form of rugby pathway that we choose to take. So for me, brought up in Alfredton by my parents on Tihoe Station. My dad was a manager on a 3,000 acre sheep farm. Just a normal family, just a good hard-working family. Mum and dad are very hard workers. My brother and I had to work our asses off for anything that we achieved in our lives. It was a good upbringing, and I think your upbringing sets a standard for the opportunities that you have later in life. I went to Alfredton Primary School with my brother, and when I was the only girl within the range of about 3 years, Mum and Dad decided that we needed to move schools. So I went to Paitoa Primary. From there, I picked up a tennis racket, and that sort of set the start of my sporting career, I guess. I was fortunate enough to play multiple national tournaments at tennis. Was a top 10 under 16 junior age grade tennis player. Played Central Districts for a few years. But for me, I decided that tennis wasn't. If you're not going to Wimbledon and you're not number one in New Zealand, you're going to struggle to make a career out of it. So the decision I made for myself. I love individual sports. I love the challenge, which I now know referees absolutely love golf, and I can understand why. It's there's the challenge there, there's the opportunity to push yourself and compete against others on an individual basis. So I started playing rugby at the age of 15. Dad came home from the Paitoa Shares one afternoon, and he said, "Do you know what, Beck? I think you should go and play rugby." He said, "The Bush women's team have been holding the sheep for the boys at the Paitoa Shares, and I think I'd like you to come along and meet them. They're a good bunch of girls, and I think you'd get along really well." So rocked up at Bush rugby training. I was 15 years old. Mum had me in shin pads, headgear, like shoulder pads, everything, the mouth guards, and every protective form that you could possibly need at the age of 15. So I was fortunate that I had a good background with soccer. I made it to New Zealand under-15s for soccer as a teenager, and they decided that, well, they gave me a ball and they said, "Just what are you going to do with it? We want you to kick it, or you know." And I had my red bands on, kicked the ball, and they were like, "You're in the number 10." I was like, "Okay, that's Andrew Murdens. I got this sorted." He was my idol. I had a black and red and white room. I had the Crusaders stuff going on. I had Andrew Murdens everywhere, and I was a bit crazy obsessed. So that was the start of it for me. Mum on the sideline with the 10-litre bucket of water with the sponge in it and the ice, and every time I touched the ball, or there was a tackle, or there was anything, Mum was halfway on the field with the bucket, and then she's all right now, back off the field. I guess pretty much like most of us that have got supportive parents, she was exactly like that. The opportunities for me at rugby came pretty thick and fast. I started trialling for the Black Ferns when I was 17 at Palmy Girls. Missed out my first year, and in my second year made the squad. As a outside sort of a person, I guess like your squad of 25, 30 players, went up to a camp in Auckland at the Millennium Institute, which anyone that's been there, it's the hub of New Zealand athletics, and it's just an incredible environment to be around. So they named the squad for the final cut for a test match series against the World 15, which Daryl Suasua had put together an international team of girls from Canada, America, the UK. So I was one of the babies that didn't quite make the cut for the test match squad of 24, and as an opportunity was drafted into the World 15 squad. So we travelled to Whangarei and played a test match against the Black Ferns, and so I've got this crazy jersey hanging on the wall at home that says World 15 2003, which I look at it now and, you know, like I wasn't really World 15, but I've got the jersey, it's hanging on the wall, and I guess it set an awesome pathway for me. One of the women in the team was Susie Appleby from England, and she said if you can get to England in a couple of weeks, you can come over and play for Clifton in Bristol. So mum's English, so I got the English passport sorted out, went to England, was fortunate enough to go through the England Academy set up, which women's rugby was fully professional in England at the time. Made my England under-20s debut at Murrayfield in Scotland, which was a pretty awesome feeling, an awesome opportunity. Like women's rugby, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, wow, it's only just starting to grow now, and you're right, it is. It's a slow progressing sport, and I think in New Zealand we've finally just reacted to the opportunities that are available to the women's game. But got a phone call after I'd made my debut against Scotland, and it was from Jed Rowlands, who was the New Zealand Black Ferns coach at the time. And he said, if you come back to New Zealand, we've got trials next month, and we're going to pick a team to go to the Churchill Cup in Canada. So as Wendy said before, got my test match debut in 2004 in Canada, and it's just continued from there. 2006 World Cup in Canada, amazing opportunity. Came home, got married to a pretty crazy guy who can put up with the shit that I throw at him. He's a keeper really. He's pretty laid back, and those of you that know Luke, he's one that doesn't travel far from Castle Point and Par Valley Road. So I've got a rock in that sense, which has given me the opportunity to do the things that I want to do. So 2006, so we got married. Sorry, lost my track a little bit there. We had our first daughter in 2008, Amber. She's now nearly 10 years old. Just like her dad, cruisy, laid back, a real reality for me. I'm just 100 miles an hour, and everything's got to be achieved before it can even be attained. So popped out the kid, as us women do. Got back into rugby, back to 2010 World Cup. Fortunate enough to be part of an amazing team, and came home with a gold medal with that. Popped out another kid in 2013. With a 6-week-old baby, got asked to attend Black Ferns trials. Any woman in the room that know what it's like, 6 weeks after childbirth, fitness testing, and playing a Black Ferns trial, would understand it's not the most comfortable feeling. Travelled home with my 6-week-old baby, and after the Black Ferns trial, just a massive reality of, is this still the passion that I have? Is this still the desire that I want to do? Is this the best thing for my family? All of those things went through my head, and to anybody that, I guess, other than Glenn Jackson and Jamie Nut-Brown, to anybody other than the three of us that play top-level rugby, the person that you most don't want to be in your life is the referee. And I was, as a first five, we talk a lot. The referee knew nothing, I knew everything. She or he didn't know any of the rules. I think Dino has refereed me quite a lot. So for some reason, I wanted to carry on my career with sport. I didn't know what to do. I rang New Zealand Rugby and spoke to Trevor Howard at New Zealand Rugby, who's head of referees, and just said, look, I don't know if this is what I want to do, but I think I might want to have a go. And I guess the opportunities have just come thick and fast. I turned up at the Wairarapa club rooms, and one of the first people I met was Harry Quinn, and Harry's just been an absolute rock to me. He's just been incredible. His first comments were, so you're a girl, so you can sort of, just because you can play rugby doesn't mean you're going to be a referee. I was like, okay, Harry, I'm glad we're on the same page, mate, because I'm all about proving myself. Don't give me any credit for anything that I've achieved until I've done it. And to his credit, even to this day, he applauds me for the things that I achieve, but he's the person that's saying you've got to get better, you've got to make the next step. And it's good to have those people in our lives. I think it's good to be challenged, and for me, with my reffing career, it's come along pretty quickly, and it is because there's not many women refereeing around the world, and we can, like I can stand here and go, oh, I'm an amazing referee and I'm all this, but it's not the case. There's a few number that do it. The opportunities that I'm getting thrown at me are because the women's rugby game is growing as quick as it is, and I'm just jumping on the bandwagon and going for the ride with it. Like Wendy said, I made my test debut in Hong Kong in December last year, so I flew to Dubai and refereed a World Rugby Sevens tournament there on the 3rd of December. Flew back to New Zealand and 5 days later jumped on a plane back to Hong Kong, which was to do a 15s match, which as a referee is incredibly challenging, crossing the time zone 4 times in 2 weeks. But also going from refereeing sevens, which is open and fast and free flowing, and you're coached by, for me, I'm coached by Paddy O'Brien and Craig Joubert at sevens level, and then to come back and Paul Honus is my 15s coach, and the mindset around it is just totally different. Sevens is a quick and fast and a reactive game, and no one really cares what they've done wrong. They just want to hear a whistle and see a process, whereas 15s is a bit more methodical, where we've got to slow it down and tell a bit of a story and explain a picture. And so that challenge for me was huge, but something that I really enjoy. For me, sevens is the pathway for me. It's the side of the game that I enjoy the most. Where I'm heading for now, I have had a crazy last 12 months. I've travelled here, there and everywhere. I've done Sydney Sevens, I've done Hong Kong twice, I've done Dubai, I've done Japan, and just, look, you go to Japan, it was the first time that one of the venues was used that's going to be a venue that's used at the 2019 Men's World Cup. And everything in it was, the most exciting thing about it was the bathroom. So in the team's changing rooms, you've got the toilet and he's got about 15 buttons on the side of it that you can get water dispensers happening. You can turn the speakers on so you can hear what the coach is talking about out in the team room. It's just the next level of where stadiums and things get to. There's elevators everywhere. It's an amazing sport, and I think it's just growing everywhere. And as it grows in Asia, I think the rest of the world is going to be blown away when the Asian community really catch a hold of it. There's a sevens tournament in China that I turned down the opportunity to go to, but it's being touted as similar to Wimbledon, French Open, that sort of same program, with over $500,000 prize money. So it's growing, and I think for the opportunities for refereeing in Asia, and I think with where rugby is going to go in the future, I don't think that there is a limit to it. So for me, I've just jumped on the bandwagon, and just last week the World Series Sevens referees have been named again for this next season. So similar to being a rugby player, I suppose, you wait to see if you're selected in the match, in the match 15, and you take the opportunities when they come. So I've got, after the women's rep campaign this season, which is about 8 weeks, starts on the 3rd of September when the girls get back from World Cup, fly out to Dubai in November. Then I've got Japan, Sydney, Canada, following Dubai, and then just been selected for the Commonwealth Games. So never in my life did I think I'd be going to a Commonwealth Games. It was never something that I thought I could ever get to. The goals that I set are always just to be the best I can, and whatever opportunities get thrown at me along the way, whether it's in the men's game or the women's game, they're just something that you grab a hold of. I've said this to a few people. Andrew Hall spoke at the Wairarapa Sports Awards about a month ago, and his attitude in one of his comments was that with all of the stuff happening overseas and all of the negativity around, with ISIS and the stuff that's happening in Asia with North Korea and stuff, the best place to be is in New Zealand with 2 feet on the ground and in your safety net of your own home. And like for me, that was a massive thought process of, you're right, Andrew, but at the end of the day, I'm going to come home with stories and things to tell my kids, and my kids are going to achieve things, and they're going to want to travel with me, and they're going to see things that New Zealand's so little, that when we get out there in the world, the opportunities that are there are just incredible. So I've probably taken the opposite approach to Andrew, and just living every dream as they come. The goal is the Olympics, and in 2020, who knows whether the body holds itself together for that long. I don't know, but we'll see how much support I can get from New Zealand Rugby. All of this has been done as an amateur a referee so far, so it's looking promising for me that I could possibly become their first fully contracted female referee. Yes. Yeah. However, that's just talk. But meanwhile, for Luke and I back at home, we've got 500 calves we're rearing at the moment. We've just taken on an awesome contract of rearing 1,500 orphan lambs. So I've got 100 orphan lambs turning up tomorrow from Taupo. So we've already got 100 in, which that's like pet lambs, so 2-day-olds on the bottle. We've got 1,000 acres that we lease, so I do the farm work there with the dogs and stuff. And Luke's got his own crutching business. He digs 300,000 sheep a year all around the Wairarapa and Te Aroha region. So there's plenty of other stuff going on in our lives that I've really got the asset on New Zealand Rugby to sort of say, well, you probably, if you can help me out a little bit more than you are, then I'd appreciate it. So one thing they've thrown at me is the opportunity to train with the professional guys next year, the Super Rugby guys, right the way through their Super Rugby campaign, every fortnight down in Wellington. So those guys are amazing. I know we all sit, and I even do now, and watch a game of rugby and Jacko, what the hell did you make that call for? Nutters, why did you do that? But these guys are incredible. They're great people. I was just saying before about Craig Joubert with his big cock up at the World Cup, and people's reaction straight away is, what a drop kick that guy is. But one mistake, it's a shame that one mistake can mask your life for a long time. Anybody that would have the opportunity to meet Craig, he is the softest, most well-spoken guy, 2 young kids, goes out snake hunting in the back of South Africa and trying to catch pythons with his mates, and he's just a real good guy, and I guess that's what the opportunities in sport for me are about. They're about the people that I meet, the stories I can tell my kids, the opportunities that are there, and if there's some medals and stuff I can pick up on the way, then that's awesome. But for you young ones I know that are just starting to get into rugby or trying to work out your pathways, trying to be All Blacks, trying to be Black Ferns, I think, like Buck Anderson said a couple of weeks ago when he spoke here, just enjoy the journey and let the journey take you wherever it will. And it's about what you're doing off the field as opposed to what you're doing on it. And it's your ability as a person to learn and get better and better and just challenge the hell out of yourselves to become the best that you possibly can. So that was a really off-the-cuff speech. I don't prepare these. I have had a fantastic night tonight. I think it's so cool to see. For me, I don't spend enough time in the Wairarapa refereeing rugby, probably because I'm the one with a broken ass all the time and let the boys down big time. But you do have an amazing group of referees in the Wairarapa, and from the unions that I have seen around the country, these boys are bloody awesome. It's an interesting job when you're out there getting the shit thrown at you for 80 minutes, but at the same time, it's the best job to get the shit thrown at you for 80 minutes. But yeah, big ups to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. I know I'm not at many meetings, and it's usually because I'm chasing 2 kids around the house, or I'm just trying to work stuff out. But yeah, so thank you very much for the invitation to speak tonight. I hope I haven't drowned you out for too long. To all the award winners, well done. And hopefully Wairarapa Bush have a good season this year. And yeah, have a good evening. Thank you. Looks like mine.
One of Beck's from the World Cup Sevens. So it's our privilege on behalf of the Wairarapa Bush Union, Beck's, to say thanks and all the best for the future, kid. Go for it.
Thanks.
Yes, tonight's awards are about the club season, but as you can see that we've got to work with Bex to see if we can get out here on the paddock and that lovely green strip a bit more often. So we're working on next year, Bex. We'll bring it through. Now we'll just move on to the next lot of awards we have. The Kingy Matthews Maori Player of the Year. And I would ask, make sure I've got myself in the right order here, yes. And I would ask if Polly and Lawrence Matthews would join me. Joe, sorry, Polly and Joe would join me on the stage.
Don't look at me like that, I never
Sorry, Joe.
Give me a hand. You know, last time I might have come on with red carpet.
Well, I'm sorry, kid, but we've got some red down there for you.
We need some more money.
Yeah, we do. We desperately do. Felicia, hang on to this. Hang on to this.
Wait on, I'll give here. Go on.
You right?
Yep.
I'm gonna hold it. Our first nominee, Tiffany Hara from Martinborough. Tip's had an excellent season with Martinborough Premier team. He also coaches the under-6 Ripper team while contributing to the club in all other areas. He's one of the competition's highest point scorers for his kicking. He's had a great season. Well done, Tiffany. Second nominee, Sam Smith from Wairarapa College. Sam, as you would have heard, has played for the Wairarapa College first 15 for the past 2 seasons. Sam was only year 11 when first making the side. Sam was successful in making the Hurricanes under 16 last year, and this year has seen Sam make the Central Region under 18 Māori side and is training with the New Zealand under 18 Māori side, which is yet to be announced. Sam is also in the under 18 Wairarapa Bush rep team. And the third nominee, Nikora Iwi from Pioneer. Now, Nikora in 2017 showed his true potential as a player and has grown into one of the most devastating backs in the Wairarapa. He would spend additional time after normal training to work on his game, whether it was fitness or skills. He has been rewarded by being included in the 2017 Farriers Wairarapa Bush Heartlands team. Now I'd ask Polly and Joe if we would present the Kingy Matthews Trophy to the winner, the Maori Player of the Year, Nikora Iwi. He said he does all the talking on the paddock. We now move to the Lane Penn Trophy for Top Coach of the Year. I'd ask Steve Penn if you would join me. First nominee, Steve Thompson from Gladstone. As a past winner of the award, Steve has continued to coach at a level that all other coaches in the region aspire to. The direction given by Steve has seen the Gladstone team this year perform at a consistently high level, and he continually gets the best out of his players. Steve devises effective game plans to ensure his team are given the best chance of winning. Steve carries himself with dignity and class that epitomise a quality coach. His attention to detail in all areas of planning is immaculate, and he is a portrayal of a positive image that rugby can produce. Second nominee, James Bruce from Martinborough. James coached the Martinborough Premier team to the 2017 Grand Final, their first final in 24 years. James is a Heartland assistant coach. James is not only involved with the senior players, he is also developing the JAB players. He's involved with the rugby tournaments at schools, coaching at the recent Ripper tournament. James organises the club's biggest fundraiser of the year and does so much more for the Martinborough club above and beyond that expected of a coach. Our third nominee, Ali Telford from Greytown. Ali is the head coach of the Greytown Premier side. The recent achievements of Senior A team can be attributed to Ali's main strength. Eli. His ability to get to know his players and care about them. Players trust and respect Eli, however, and it goes the other way. Eli trusts and respects those he coaches. Eli's contribution to rugby extends beyond coaching the Senior A's. His contribution to rugby in 2017 includes the Wairarapa Bush men's 7-a-side head coach, co-coach of the Greytown Gladstone under-11 team, head coach for the 2017 Wairarapa Bush under-11 team, and head coach for the Kayakatch's touch rugby team, a pathway for aspiring young touch rugby players. Eli is passionate and dedicated. He brings consistent attitude and positivity. He motivates and knows how to bring out the best of those he coaches. In the 140-year history of the Greytown Club, Eli is considered one of the best for his dedication, his contribution, hard work for both players and volunteers. Greytown Club consider themselves extremely privileged and proud to have Eli involved. Now, Steve, we're going to ask you to present the Lane Penn Trophy to the winner, the top coach of the year, James Bruce. I wonder, Rachel, if you'd come forward or not. Oh.
I wasn't really expecting to be up here for Coach of the Year, and you all know Brucey, and they're probably sending me up so none of the boys would, they'd chuck out a few stories about him, and they thought I'd say some nice stuff, but I'll try. He has, honestly, when I come on board at the club, he was my go-to person. He does way, like you said, above and beyond what most coaches would do, and he's well deserving of this. And I've got a few grey hairs from him, and but that's okay. I can dye those, so it's all good. So well done, Brucey. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, we do.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the other nominees for this award. Probably especially Stevie Thompson, as probably he's one of the guys I've learnt quite a lot from. So that's pretty humbling to pick up that award. I'd like to thank the team and the players and the fellow coaches in the Martinborough Club. They're probably the main reason I'm actually standing up here. All the work and stuff they've done, and probably last of all my family. I'd like to thank them for putting up with all the time spent away and the work gone into the team for the season. Yeah, thank you.
We now move to the Baden Whale Trophy for Referee of the Year. I'd ask Keith Hannon. Keith, if you'd come forward. Baden unfortunately can't be here this evening, and ask Keith if he would do the honours on his behalf. Our first nominee is Alistair Payne. I should point out, as we go into this, we were looking at club rugby throughout the season, and we have, as you heard, a number of referees that could be here, well beyond the number we've nominated, and it'd be good to have Bex on the paddock for the bush as much as we can. So we look forward to that in the future. So for our top referee of the year, in the club competition, the Wairarapa Bush, first nominee Alistair Payne. This was the third year in succession that Alistair was appointed to the Premier Club final, his 97th Premier Club game since 2010. Alistair has been appointed to 12 representative first-class Heartland games. He's been AR1 for the Meads final in 2016, been selected in the Hurricanes Youth Rugby referee squad, nominated again in 2017. Alistair exemplifies a high standard, notably in decision-making, law knowledge, consistency and management of players at the highest level. The second nominee, Chris Jeffries. Chris has set a milestone of 100 Premier games, and from 2005 to 2014, he was appointed to 10 Premier Club finals. He was appointed as AR for Meads and Lahore Cups and Heartland finals for the past 5 years. Chris has a mature, relaxed demeanour and brings a wealth of experience to his refereeing. He has taken a leading role in the administration and management committee roles with the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Referees Association, providing a commitment to the highest standards recognised both on and off the field. Our third nominee is Shane O'Gorman. Shane reached a milestone of refereeing 100 Premier games this season. I have to add that Martin Barrow really made his day with a celebration and acknowledgement of that. He's still in a buzz about that game and your support. And has been in the top 3 referees in the region for a number of seasons. He demonstrates good player management, skills, law knowledge, consistency and decision making. Shay has continued to set a high standard for himself and fellow referees. He establishes positive player compliance and is officiated at representative level. He is a member of the Wairarapa Bush Rugby Referees Association's Management Committee. Now I'd ask Keith to present the Baden Whale Trophy to the winner of the Referee of the Year, Alistair Payne.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Bex on all her achievements over the last couple of years. It's great to have someone from the Wairarapa achieving so highly. Farmlands and Lone Star have been our sponsors again this year, and it is really good that they've come on board, and we enjoyed their input, and we'd like to take them out to functions like this. Pete and Harry have continued to, and Rex have continued to challenge us and grow us as referees, and that's important for us to grow on the field and make, well, hopefully better decisions and become more consistent with our decision making. It's really been a positive club rugby season. I really commend the teams for playing positive rugby, throwing the ball around, and have enjoyed the competitive nature of all the games. So thank you very much. Well done. We now come to the Bob Francis Trophy for the Best and Fairest Award, accumulated points over the club games throughout the season.
I wonder, Bob, if you'd come and join me. The winners of the Best and Fairest Award, this is the first time this year that two players have come out of the club season on equal points. Liam Devine and James Goodyear. Just as Liam comes up, you need to be aware that James had to leave the function. His mother was involved in a motor accident early this evening, and he's gone to see to her assistance. But Liam will accept on both their parts. Liam.
Firstly, I'm sure Goodge will be honoured to have achieved this award. We all know what Goodge is like on the field and off the field. He's a huge part of Marist, and anybody from Marist and around the Wairarapa would know that. Secondly, I don't know how they select this award because I think there's probably a record high of yellow cards for me this season. Yeah, just congratulations to everybody who's won an award tonight. You know, you won it, and the nominees as well. You deserve to be here. And thank you to the Marist Club for nominating me and all the volunteers behind the scenes at Marist. Thank you.
Now we're coming down to, you know, that 75-minute mark when the guys who sat all season on the bench get their last 5 minutes on the paddock. But in this particular case, it's a very pristine trophy, the Supreme Award for the club year. I wonder if BJ, you'd come and join us up here and maybe first have a word.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen and fellow rugby people. What a great night. I think I said the same last year, but I'm impressed by how progressive we have all become, I think. And I'm talking about the clubs now in the last few years. I guess I've had the pleasure of watching a fair bit of rugby over a long period of time, and I haven't watched a lot of club rugby this year, but the games that I have watched, and I watched finals day, the preparation is much, much better than it's been previously. We've got a lot of fit players out there who play entertaining and good rugby, and that doesn't come just like that. I am a great believer in club rugby. I believe it's so important to New Zealand. It's so important to Wairarapa. And if we have strong clubs, which we have now, I believe, we'll have a strong rep team. And I just congratulate all those people who have been up here this evening and been awarded trophies. But we all know there's a hell of a lot of others that are doing the work behind the scenes as well. Well done to you all. I hope you enjoy what you're doing. You're a long time old, I'm afraid. So enjoy it while you are young. And you can enjoy the company of young people. I just wish you could have a trophy for each club, really, but there's only going to be one winner. But that's this year. Next year is another year. And I just see how the clubs have performed. Clubs that we haven't seen up here this year are very prominent. And that comes back to the administration. If you don't have a good administration in your club, the club doesn't function quite as well. So well done to all those people that have done the hard yards behind the scenes. And may you carry on and do it into the future, because it's important for Wairarapa Rugby that you do. And it's important for your little community as well. Because if you are doing it and other people are enjoying it, it makes the community so much stronger. So thank you very much for all you've achieved, you guys.
Our first nominee of Club of the Year, Gladstone. The Gladstone Rugby Club has had a stellar year both on and off the field. Player numbers have grown, which saw 70 senior players registered to the club by the end of the year. The Premier team were again in the Premiership final, having been in the top two teams for the entire season, and the senior reserve team competed in the President's Cup final. With over 100 JB players as well, the strength of the Gladstone Club for such a small community is undeniable. The Gladstone Club prides itself in its facilities, value their sponsors and supporters. This year the club introduced a new initiative where photos that were taken during the day's match were shown on a screen with sponsorship logos during the post-match function, well received by all those in the club rooms. During the off-season, the club spent considerable time improving their grounds and the surrounding land, although the winter did catch them out, didn't it? The result is a community facility that everyone is proud of. Sorry, Gladdy. The Rugby Club has been the catalyst for the increase in senior sports teams now representing Gladstone. 3 women's hockey teams, 3 netball teams, and are also competing on a regular basis. The Rugby Club is a key part of the Gladstone community, a positive impact socially, whilst displaying a high level of ethics. The second nominee for Club of the Year, Marston and Red Star. Talk about Phoenix rising from the ashes. From having no team in 2014, the club has made giant strides during the past 3 years. Many hours of hard work during 2015 and 16 saw a team playing in club colours in both years. At the conclusion of the 2016 season saw the return of the positive financial results and many non-playing members, and this flowed into 2017 with a lift in the number of sponsors. The performance of the team this year, who dug deep to get the results, has put the club forward as a serious contender for the Senior Premiership in 2018. The Colombo Road Sports Grounds, which are predominantly used by the Wairarapa Bush JAB competitions, were placed into a wider partnership agreement, which meant the cost of the facilities is being shared and the facility is available for wider community use. The club expects very high standards of their players and to compete at their maximum level. This resulted in the team winning the reserve grade first round unbeaten. The club had a top team returning top results. A strong committee, all of whom were committed to continuing the strength of the club, financially stable, and have one of the largest and successful JOB sections throughout the Wairarapa. Our third club to be nominated, Martinborough. Martinborough entered teams in the Hawke's Bay Sevens, they were the winners of the C-Grade Championships and the Shannon Sevens Rugby Tournament. In addition, the club organises a very successful touch tournament pre and post-Christmas involving children, rep players, men and women who have never played, coming together to play social touch rugby. In 2016, the Senior Premier team finished last. Let's dial forward. 2017, the team made it to the grand final, the first time in 24 years. For the senior reserve team, who struggled to finish in 2016, they made it to the top 4 in 2017. The club is well represented at representative levels, have growing JAB numbers, combined prize givings, and continue to have excellent community connections via regular newsletters, website updates and Facebook posts. Now I'll now ask Sir Brian to present the Sir Brian Lahore Trophy to the Supreme Club Winner of the Year in 2017, Gladstone.
Thanks very much. Obviously, from my highly biased perspective, I think Gladstone should win this every year. But the good thing about the Wairarapa and rugby in this region is that there's 11 other clubs represented here as well that think exactly the same thing of their club, and that holds us all in good stead, and that's the reason that we keep coming back year after year, either as players or administrators or supporters or sponsors, to be involved in the game that we love. Obviously, this year, highlight was the winning of the Tui Cup again, so congratulations to Stevie, John Boy and the team on a fantastic season. But also we had an influx of new people into the senior reserve environment, and they brought a real energy and new ideas to the club as well, and they've been a really key part of creating a really positive vibe that's been in the Gladstone club all year this year. It has been a great season, both on and off the field. The club rooms have been a fairly socially active place to be, and that's reward for the efforts that the players, the sponsors, the supporters and the whole Gladstone community have put in. So I'm proud to accept this award on behalf of not just the Gladstone Rugby Club but the Gladstone community. So thanks very much. And just to finish off as well, I do want to thank the Wairarapa Bush Union yet again for putting on a fantastic award ceremony. I think it's 4 years now, and yeah, they get well attended and they are a good evening. So thanks very much to Tony and the team at Wairarapa Bush as well.
Well, that brings to a conclusion the official part of the program. Just remember, if you're travelling home and you've got a few distance to travel, travel safe. And I'll now ask Tony to bring the evening to a close.
Thanks everyone, congratulations to all our nominees and winners for the night. Fantastic effort. First of all, I'd just like to do some very quick thank yous. So Dimey, you're a champion, you're still my hero. I love you more after that auction, so would you just like to come forward and just take this to drink with Rex later on. There's one person we haven't mentioned tonight, and that's been quite deliberate, but a new staff member joined us in May. She unfortunately had a bit of an operation, so her first week back was organising the club finals and the club awards, and Stacey Putty, you've been a champion. So welcome on board and looking forward to working with you. And finally, referees, what happens when someone pulls a hammy just before a game? Who do you call on, Pete Simmons, or I don't know. But I was just saying, is that Peter Debney, you've been outstanding for us. We called you up at 7 o'clock last night in the Lone Star. We ran through everything at 4:30 today. You've been a champion, and you just came in and said, Tony, I'll help you out. Can you do it? So Peter, we just want to thank you for helping us out, and you went to the 81st minute for us today. Thank you, Peter. So just thank you and congratulations to everyone. We traditionally at every award ask all the award winners to come up here for one big final photo, which Jade will do. So if you'd like to all come forward to the stage, drive safe, have a great year, enjoy the summer, and the Farriers team play tomorrow against Poverty Bay and here next Friday. So all the best. Thank you.